everyone, I'm Jen, and I'm a woman in long-term recovery. I'm also a CARC, a SERPA, a rape crisis counselor, and a Narcan trainer. If you look in my description box below, you're going to find a whole bunch of goodies down there. You're going to find all my social media, as well as right here. And you will also find all the things that I've been involved with. I did a documentary called Smack. That's down there. My good friend Jessica Vecchione is the creator. Please go check it out. You will see all my Amazon wish list, except for my harm reduction wish list. My harm reduction wish list is available by request only. So please give me a shout if you would like to help out with that. It is lacking very much so and could use any help that is available. There's also my go bags, which I help people in my local recovery community, home from incarceration, rehabs, mental institutions, etc. So all that's down below. And as you all know, Bella has moved home. She has a little wish list down there too. Today, I'm going to jump right into it. Today is your questions that you asked about how I brought Bella home. So I'm going to do my best. There is a lot of them. I'm going to do my best to answer them all. So please bear with me. I have my handy dandy laptop, so this way I can see all of your questions. And let's jump right into it. So let's see. Well, there was a lot of people who were just saying how proud they were, and I really appreciate that. I'm super proud too. I truly thought this day would never come. Sarah Warner, she said, how is the first car ride, the walk through the door, has it set in? So it's roughly, let's see, about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and it is finally set in, I think for both of us. And I thought she was going to be a lot more apprehensive than she was about getting into the car to come home with me. And she hopped right in and was like, let's go. And the first car ride was cool. I mean, we only live about 10 minutes apart, and she was great. She really was. Let's see. Ashley Alexander 7 said, please don't answer if it's too personal, but did you and Jared have to split up for you to have her? No, Jared and I are not split up. He is currently living in his home, and her and I are currently living here. Let's see. Ellie Seed said, will Bella get to see her grandparents regularly? Yes, she will. Slow Down and Breathe said, anything you are willing to share and are comfortable with, congrats on getting her back. Thank you. This is not Eric responded and said, how did your parents deal? So I guess I'm going to answer a lot of questions all lumped into one. They were sad. They were very sad. I'm pretty sure my mom cried for like a few days, and my dad's like a manly man. And they were sad. They were sad as they should be because they love her. Did she have to switch schools? No, she didn't. We live in the same town, and she will be attending the same school. I intentionally live in this town so she would never have to switch schools because I knew by the grace of my God she was coming back to me. Let's see. Shayla Warno said, have nights been hard? Are you guys getting good sleep? Are you guys going to sleep good and getting good sleep? I think we're just fine. She sleeps in bed with me, so I think she's just fine. She's a good sleeper. She's just a good kid. She really is. Ibano B said, what were you most scared about that day? That she was going to be mad at me, that she was going to be upset that she was not living with her Mimi and Papa anymore. So Shauna Atkins 75 said, did everything go well? I mean, yeah, it did. I'm just grateful that it went so well. Kayla Louise said, also, what was the biggest hurdle you had to overcome to get her home? Cool. All of it. Yes. Just yes. I filed originally to have my visitation changed because I wasn't getting any visitation. I was hardly getting phone calls. It was just really shitty. I was going 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks without seeing her. No one would answer the phone. It was just really terrible. And I filed a petition to modify my visitation in December. And months went by, and the lawyers were doing their thing. And back in March, my dad was supervising visits, even though he had no right to, but he had custody and I had to abide by that. And I ended up getting a paid supervisor. So I was paying a neutral third party to supervise the visits between Bella and I, so we could have less tense visits and she could really just be herself, and so could I. And that's when things really started to change. And then a few months into that, my parents called CPS and reported me and said that I had physically abused Bella during a visit. They say it wasn't them. They say it was Bella, but there's no way a 9-year-old little girl would call up CPS and make that report. So whatever. They came, they did their investigation. Clearly it was unfounded. And that's when I made the decision to switch my petition from a modification of visitation to full custody. And that was a very hard decision for me because I knew it would meant that my life would automatically just completely change. And I knew Bella was thought Bella was going to be upset with me because I had told her she was able to live with her Mimi and Papa until she didn't want to. And I thought she was going to be very upset. And she absolutely was not. So there's that. The first meal that I cooked her, this is actually kind of funny. She loves goulash, and she asked me to make her goulash. I had given her a crock pot, like a mini crock pot, for Christmas or her birthday or Easter or Valentine's or something. But unfortunately, that none of her belongings except what she left the house with that day on her back is what she came with. So that's why we had the wish list, to be completely honest, because after 4 years of not having my baby and finally fighting the good fight and winning and getting the honor of taking my child back home, my baby came home with nothing but the clothes on her back and the shoes on her feet. So R*07 said, what is the custody agreement? It is very long. I was very generous. We did not have to end up going to trial. My parents realized they were going to lose and settled and allowed my lawyers to draw up an agreement. Bella sees them during the summer. She sees them 3 days a week. And during the school week, she sees them for a full weekend. And then holidays and things of that nature. I'm not going to really go into the specifics of the settlement agreement because it's not really anyone's business per se. But I was very, very generous. Let's see. R*07 also said, how hard was the fight against your parents? It was sad. That's what it really boils down to. It was sad. I'm very capable of raising my child and raising her properly, and they just didn't see it until it was literally forced in their face by their own lawyer. Let's see. Aaron T said, how long was the process? Well, the actual court battle was 8 months. The fight's been 4 years. This one kind of got cut off. I think it says, she wants to know, did you pick her up or was she dropped off? I picked her up because I wanted to make sure it was at the right time. I didn't want to give anyone an excuse or anything. Kessler 57 said, did she get interviewed? I'm not sure what you mean. I think you're meaning, did the courts interview her? And no, thank God. CJ Sedgwick 17 said, did your parents try and stop you? I'm not sure if you mean that exact day. No, they knew I had a court order, and no. I said, what's the living situation if she cannot live with Jared right now? So I think I previously answered that. Her and I are here, and he's there. Emily Guzman 1814 said, what a blessing. Came a long way. So what were you most scared about that day? I think I answered that already. I was just scared she was going to be mad or upset. Did everything go well? I mean, with your parents? So the dynamic has definitely shifted and changed into a better dynamic, if you will, but it's still not great. Amanda Tully, 42, wants to know, how do we spend our first day night together as a family? So we kind of just hung out. We didn't really do anything major. We ate and hung out and went through clothes and things like that, and just normal stuff. Novelle Van Walkenberg wants to know, do your parents still talk to you or not? So they actually interact with me more now because they have no choice. So there's that. Let me go to the next page. Alexander Danielle 89 wants to know, how was the transition with picking her up and leaving, teary, heartfelt with your parents, etc. So I'm pretty sure. So the day I went to go pick her up, my mom wouldn't come outside. I think she was very melancholy, and my dad was mad. He just seemed mad, even though they surrendered, So it was just a weird situation. Alexa Danielle 89 also wants to know, what's the first thing you guys did? Play, talk, watch movies, etc. Well, like I said, hung out. I think we went out to eat. We just like relaxed, just basic stuff. I wasn't sure what she was going to be up to or not. And you also have to understand, she hasn't been in my care in 4 years. I wasn't sure what her likes, dislikes, like I have the only child in the world who doesn't like ketchup and wants mustard with everything. And I had no mustard. So that was like, it's just silly little things like that. Oh, she wants to know, was she more anxious, excited, anxious, nervous? I think she was more anxious, excited, to be quite honest. So Farrah Clayton wants to know if Jared was there to welcome her. He was not. He was at work. Mel J. Steven wants to know, do you feel that the courts were fair to you, or did it feel like they were biased against you? Actually, I feel like they were biased against my parents, to be quite frank. I'm very well known in the community, and my struggle and my progress is also very well known. And they were wonderful to me. Let's see. Jeremy and Courtney Emiston 321 responded, did your mom fight you tooth and nail? Was Bella excited? So believe it or not, I personally think it was my mom who surrendered first. My parents are in their mid 70s. They're older. Bella's very active. And I just feel like they know that it was time. Amy Barnes wants to know, did your parents worry Jared was going to relapse prior to Bella coming home? I don't think they thought about it at all, to be quite honest. They don't know anything of him. They've never met him. They don't like him for no real reason. And that's just what they stick to. Shani Bells wants to know, how is she adopted to the animals? Well, funny story about that. Luna is petrified of her. She's never seen a little human before in any real shape or form of longevity. Lena is just Captain Cool, She deals with her picking her up and carrying her around. But the little cat, she's like, they are two peas in a pod. That is her person. That is whatever. They are like, so when Bella went to my parents' house last week, the little cat got very upset and peed all over Bella's little carpet. She peed all over her new beanbag chair. I had to throw it out. So they're as right as rain, the two of them. Let's see. Which I'm glad, because I think that made the transition easier for her as well. Bethany Alice 08. She's just very happy for us, and thank you. I appreciate that. And she wants to know, how is she adjusting? Is she excited about everything new or more cautious and reserved? She's like a freaking pro at it, like for real. She really is. Farrah wants to know, Farrah Clayton 7 says, was anybody there to welcome her? How did the first night go? So my friend Leah and Mike, I got her a welcome home cake that my friend made for me. And then my friend Leah and Mike and their daughter came over for cake. And then her little neighbors across the street, like they're her age, they came over, they go to school together. It was nice. Would love to see a condensed. So Jenna Thompson wants to see a condensed version of the original story. I could do that, I guess. M Salsa 18 said, hardest thing to adjust to. Honestly, the hardest thing to adjust to has been how to prioritize work and her at the same time. That's been the most difficult for me. My biggest fear, well, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to be a bad mom. Um, what was she most excited about? And what was I most excited about? I'm just super excited to be her mom. Like bath time and bedtime and hugs and habits and things like that. And I think she's just excited about the simple fact that I'm like the cool mom. And she has her little tablet that she calls Micah and Riley on like every 5 seconds. They're actually on the phone right now in the living room. I can hear them. Um, and she loves that little cat. Like she loves that little cat. Let's see. So that was sweet. So Rodham NA, I don't know what it says. She was like, please remember that you do not have to choose to answer everyone's questions. That's not rude and we understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try my hardest to be as transparent as possible because I think it's genuinely important for people to understand that this fight is possible to win. And we all deserve a second chance as human beings. To err is human, and we were all human, and we all deserve to be treated that way. And I think it's super important for you guys to know like the nitty gritty of what I went through. Because let me tell you, this was a motherfucking fight. There were days that like I would call Jess or Jared would like literally have to console me because I was crying because it felt never ending. And it felt like we would take 2 steps forwards, 3 steps back, 3 steps forward, 8 steps back, and it just, it got down to literally the week before trial. So she always also asked, how are your parents feeling about this situation? I think they're happy, but I also think they're sad. Well, I don't want to say happy, maybe that's a little pushing it. I think they're having self-actualization of the situation. We'll put that way. How is it? This is a great question from Inren or Inaren, Inawren. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, guys. How is it determined what is in the best interest of the child, especially after a long time? So there's actually a bunch of procedures. So because of everything that happened in our past, I had to rehash all of that, which absolutely sucked. But we contacted CPS and they came and they did a home study and a home visit and interviewed me. They asked their lawyer to weigh in and tell the judge whether or not they felt that it was in Bella's best interest to be back in my care. We rehashed all of my criminal past, everything. We went through everything and we did the best that we could do. A lot of people, like, their answer to the question was everything. And somebody considering it grace, Jared did not move out. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to see this one. Let's see, hold on. I got to zoom down, guys. So everybody wants to know all of it. I know. Retweet 1115. Why did she have only the clothes on her back? Narcissism is a real thing. And that last bit of control, and spite and hurt, I guess, which it really didn't hurt me, but her. What was the hardest steps that I had to do to take her? I think I pretty much answered that. I mean, it was all very, very difficult and, trying, to be quite honest. I think some of these are repeats. Let me see. So that's about it, guys. I really appreciate all the questions and help and love and concern. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments down below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. And if you are fighting this fight, please do not give up. Even when you feel like the depths of your soul are being destroyed, do not give up. It will be worth it in the end, I promise you. And even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, you showed up. You showed up for your child, and that's the most important part. So I hope you guys all are having a wonderful week, and I will see you all on Friday. And remember, we recover loudly, so those behind us do not suffer in silence. Bye.